The name's Ashe. If it's mercenary work you need, that'll be 200 gold. Then that's business. Any questions before we venture out?
What's your specialization?
Glad you asked. I deal mostly with two-handed weapons, if you couldn't already tell by my massive sword here. Might be surprising for a woman of my size, but I can wield these beasts rather well.
Why are you here?
I'm a mercenary, looking for work around here. Let's keep it at that.
Why aren't you drinking or eating anything?
Because I'm not hungry, and it's none of your business.
Why are your prices lower than the usual average?
While I am skillful in combat, I haven't been a mercenary for long. I might not stay one for long either. Personal reasons, but I'm training for something.
That's interesting armor. Not quite what I expected for a mercenary.
This thing. Not exactly the most practical looking, is it?
Forgive me, but aren't you a bit overdressed for a place like the Winking Skeever?
Agreed. But there's a reason I wear these. Let's just say they're a lot tougher than they look. You might be surprised.
I don't have any more questions.
Fine. I do have one for you. What job do you want me to do? Is this more of a general escort or a dungeon exploration?
General escort.
You can definitely hold yourself in a fight. I appreciate working with people who have combat experience.
How do you know that?
There are ways to determine someone's combat experience just by looking at them. A mentor taught me. Here, I'll let you borrow some skill books. It'll make my job easier. And it's nice to be working with you. And who's this accompanying you? She doesn't cut a mercenary's figure.
I could say the very same about you, mercenary.
No, there's something in the way she holds herself. Not like anyone I've seen wander in here. Sharp, refined, cultivated. All signifies a status. A noblewoman?
I guess some habits just don't break. No need to stand on ceremony, Merc. I'm not the one you're being paid to protect. Do keep that in mind.
You've got some bark. That's good. Escorting hapless damsels is such a chore. I'm Ashe. A pleasure, Miss...
I've got some bite as well, if you're not careful. Serana. Though I wouldn't say I'm charmed just yet.
If I wanted to get paid to charm, I'd have become a bard. Let's head out. An inn isn't exactly an ideal place to ply my trade. One last thing before we depart. My pace is efficient. If you can keep up, I might consider you a worthy enough partner for a round of mead later. Don't fall behind. Ambitious. I like that. What is it?
Where do you come from, anyway?
An isolated mountain region in High Rock. I'm not exactly a local here in Skyrim, though you could probably already tell that from my Breton appearance. I ended up here in Skyrim as it seems like it's the best place for mercenary work. And I don't think I'm wrong, seeing as we've been working together.
Do you think we could visit your original abode?
No, there's no need. There'd just be even more pain and sorrow.
What combat experience do you have?
I specialize with two-handed weapons. You know that already. I'm fair with other combat arts as well, like archery and one-handed weapons. However, I don't know much about spellcasting right now. Still working on that. And if I don't have a weapon on me, I can use my fists. I've been told that they punch like steel, quite literally.
Where did you learn to use a sword?
As soon as I was born, if you could put it that way. Swinging a sword just came naturally for me. I was swinging ever since I set foot out of the womb. Even though I was a prodigy, no one is born a master swordsman. Took a lot of practice to get where I am today.
Who was your mentor?
My father taught me the basics, but he passed away not long after I was born, so since then I've mostly been self-taught.
Self-taught?
I needed to survive, and I didn't have anyone I could trust at the time. My father. He was all I ever knew.
What about your mother?
Never knew her. It was always just my father.
What happened to your father?
He was killed by assassins. I've made it a point to hunt them down. That's kind of why I'm taking these mercenary jobs here and there. I need to be sure I can actually kill them. I was powerless to do anything when it actually happened. That won't be the case anymore.
Tell me about your father.
Not much to tell. I didn't get to know him for very long. I know it sounds sad. I didn't even know the only parent I had that well. But the days I did spend with him, they were memories of pure light. He was so kind, caring. I used to kind of be a buffoon when I was born. It was very embarrassing. But he helped me through it, and for the limited time he could, showed me the ropes of what it meant to live. That was how he put it. My purpose in life was just to live and experience things. Very vague when you think about it. He never got to explaining it. Before he could, well, he kicked the bucket. Would you know what he meant?
No, but we can find that meaning out together.
Yeah, I'd like the sound of that.
Do you have any leads on the assassins?
Not currently. They know how to cover their tracks. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Likewise.
Glad we're on the same page.
Can I talk to you for a moment?
Sure.
How does not having a family in the typical sense feel for you?
No, family. I only ever had a father, and even now he's gone. It's complex for me, to say the least.
How do you cope with the absence of a traditional family?
I've learned to adapt, I guess. Find solace in the connections I can make. Like the one I have with you.
I noticed you kept an odd-looking flower in your bag. May I ask what it is?
It's called a nocturne lily. I don't believe there's a lot of those in Skyrim.
No, there aren't.
It's very special to me. This tear is the only memento I have of my father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's honestly all right. I've come to terms with what's happened.
What happened exactly?
I'd still rather not talk about it, if that's all right. You already know all that you need to know. He's dead, and now I'm trying to avenge him.
When did it happen?
I'm not sure. My considerable intelligence usually lets me keep track of things like this, but I guess I was just existing, for lack of a better term, for a good deal of time after my father's death. For years, I'd say. For a while, I felt like I no longer had a purpose. He gave me motivation, but my purpose went away with him after he passed. Now I've resolved to have a new purpose, avenging his death. At least it's getting me out of the haybed every morning.
Can you tell me more about Lunar Tears?
It's a flower that my father used to grow. I'm not sure where he got the seeds from, because they can't be found anywhere else in Tamriel. I just know that he told me that from where they're from, they're symbols of hope and renewal. That they represent the possibility of a better future, even in the midst of despair. And that's probably just horsewash. Arya was buried 6 feet under, along with all the ideals he had.
I have no more questions.
Alright.
Do you have magicka potions?
Always prepared, remember? I keep a few spares on hand, just in case I encounter a particularly draining situation. I was just admiring the scenery. It's easy to forget the beauty around us when we're always focused on the next fight.
I noticed you tend to sharpen your sword and adjust your armor a lot.
Observant, aren't you? Maintaining my equipment is essential. Always have to be prepared for the unexpected. You'll never know when a bandit is next going to jump you, or an Oblivion Eldritch monster for that matter.
Oblivion Eldritch monster?
You've heard of the Oblivion Crisis, haven't you? If not that, Skyrim has plenty of other eccentric hordes to throw at us. Giants, Draugr, the occasional dragon.
Speaking of being ready, could you maybe sharpen my sword or temper my armor?
Of course. Consider it a professional courtesy. Besides, I find the process calming. It's meditative, in a way. Like combat, but without the violence. Though I should mention, I only offer this service when we're out in the wilds. If we're in a city with a proper smithy, it's best to let the smiths handle it.
I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Father? Father? Where are you?
Ashe, my finest creation.
Father, what happened? You're bleeding!
Father? What happened? You're bleeding!
Just a flesh wound. I'll be fine. I just need a minute. Need to rest.
Who did this to you?
Who did this to you?
Just it led to her death.
What are you saying? Who is she?
What are you saying? Who is she?
Just stay here, I'll
You
get
won't
help.
understand.
Just stay here. I'll get help.
It's too late. Remember the flower I gave you. Remember. Remember.
Let's see if I'm following along correctly. Our friend, gods know how, dreamt up that harrowing scene with your father. An exact replica of your memory? How is that possible?
I'm not particularly adept in memories or magic. It wasn't supposed to be anyone's business but my own.
I'm not here to pry. I suppose I know what it's like to have memories claw their way out at the worst times. Sometimes hearing them out loud helps quiet them down.
Some sharp teeth. It wasn't just a dream for me. It was real. It hurt more than anything.
I can imagine. You had to watch as he...
I couldn't stop it. All that knowledge he had, and it couldn't save him. I keep hearing his last words. Remember the flirt.
It never is, though. But you still remember it. That's something. When I lost my mother, I buried it all. The pain, the guilt, even the good parts. Now I wonder if I'd still recognize her face.
I don't want to forget. I just wanted to stop hurting so much.
Then, let it hurt. Let it mean something. No need to carry it all alone.
The Empire brought stability. Ulfric wasn't blinded by lust for power. And see we are on the same side.
True, but I'm offering understanding. There's a difference. And maybe some company, if it surfaces again.
I'll take it under consideration. Thanks for not turning this into a lecture or a pity party.
Pity's cheap. What I see is someone who lost the only person that made the world make sense to them. Let's say I've been there.
This must be that beautiful Skyrim weather that everyone rambles on about.
Hey, Ashe.
You saw that? My memories? How is that even possible? No, it can't be. Those are my memories. Deeply personal. Painful. You couldn't have. Perhaps it was a mistake to talk about him. It brings back too much. Let's just focus on the task at hand. Just forget what you saw. It wasn't real. It was just a dream.
I've always wondered, why do your clothes look so different?
They're inspired by Breton embroidery. It just also happens I have an eye for blending fashion and function, so here I am, heels and all. They're not common footwear, that's for certain. Let's just say my design makes up for any inconveniences heels might pose. It's functional, comfortable, and serves as a reminder of my past. That's all that matters. My father gave it to me. It was a bit bulkier back then. Let's just say I've made a few adjustments over the years for functionality, and perhaps a touch of personal flair.
Is you defiled?
Thanks for explaining. Your outfit's unique, that's for sure.
Glad you appreciate it.
Any combat or adventuring advice?
With what particularly?
Dual wielding.
Dual wielding sacrifices defense through a barrage of attacks. Execute with synchronicity, and your foes may not have the chance to respond.
Thanks for the advice. Could you actually train me?
I'd be happy to. But do expect rigor. My methods are designed to push your limits. Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Excellent choice. Start with fundamental offensive and defensive patterns. Control is essential. Let the sword become an extension of your will. Very good. It looks like you already have the basics down. Let's start working on different attack combinations. I want you to execute a series of slashes and stabs. Not at me, just the air. I don't have a target for you, but imagine there's one there. Don't hold back. Let it all out. Your movements are swift and graceful. You've got natural talent.
You haven't eaten much since we started traveling. Do you ever get hungry?
How does this relate to our missions and quests? I don't see the tactical bearings here. I just don't have a huge appetite. I'm not a very good liar, am I? Certain foods don't give me the necessary nutrition as it does for others. It's a health disorder of sorts, but I'm not dying or anything.
That's concerning. Have you seen a healer?
Yes, I have, and I'm in ideal condition for combat.
Then what foods do you eat?
Yes, I have actually. Just because I don't eat often doesn't mean I don't have favorite foods. I quite enjoy sweet rolls for one. They're just so delectable. What foods do you enjoy?
Sweet rolls too!
Glad we have something in common. There is one food that feeds me though, and that's elsewhere fondue. One of the recipes that I know of that fortifies magicka. However, that's the exception here.
So what gives you sustenance, if not food?
Magicka. You probably noticed I guzzle magicka potions quite often. Since food can't sustain me, I resort to magicka. Kind of like how a vampire feeds on blood, except I'm not a vampire.
Then what are you?
Pelin or White Streak. I'm kidding. You should have seen your face. Death to all Aelids. I am an automaton. Beep boop, beep boop. Seriously though, I guess I'm just different. Let's keep it at that. Hopefully this doesn't change anything. I'm not sure what to make of your friend just yet, but I've got a feeling we'll be seeing a lot more of each other. And perhaps those conversations will be a bit more voiced in the future.
How did you get started in the mercenary business?
I guess I just started. There wasn't any formal guild I needed to join. I just started going to inns and making myself available. Oh, that came out wrong. By available, I don't mean the other thing. I don't have anything against that profession. It just isn't for me. Anyway, business on that front has been kind of rough, both figuratively and literally.
Business has been hard, both figuratively and literally.
Firstly, I haven't been able to find many clients. Most merchants already have mercenaries and aren't looking for another one. And by literally, I've definitely been in some tough scrapes. I almost became Dwemer Scrap at some points. I hope my skills have been sufficient.
You've proven yourself in combat.
Glad to see my skills are recognized. You aren't that bad yourself. You can pull your weight. I admire that about you.
No, you kinda suck, honestly.
Was that a threat? Tell you what, let's spar. My blade to yours.
En garde! It's good to see you show some heart for once. You're usually so...
Yeah.
absent.
Absent. Hey. Thanks. Hey.
Hey, Ashe, what's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to...
You're not usually like this.
I appreciate your admirable behavior. That's what I wanted to say. Not just your combat prowess. I think we aren't dead now because of that. You're... nice. Outside of combat, I mean.
A compliment from you? I'm surprised.
Well, that just means it's true. Too many times I see nobles trying to butter up to each other. It's disgusting. When you say something, you should mean it. commended strength should mean actual strength. Not just because you're some highborn's pup.
I'm only doing my part.
What do you mean?
After all, we're friends, right?
Friends? I don't know. Guess I've never been anybody's friend before.
You carry my weight, and I carry yours.
No, it's just a fair contract.
It's a friendship.
Contract.
Friendship.
Contract.
Friendship!
Contract.
Contract of friendship.
You're helpless.
I think we should relax and have a drink.
All right, that seems fitting. Do you want to have mead, wine, or just plain milk?
Mead.
The classic Nordic choice. Oh, and by the way, we're only having one drink of this. Don't want you getting frazzled or discombobulated. We need you in tip-top tactical condition tomorrow.
You're probably right.
And I'll finish the rest of the alcohol tonight. I'm not affected by it after all. I'm giving you a free drink, so I have the final say on what I do with it. Well, drink's been poured. Cheers.
Any thoughts on what's been going on lately?
Our adventure's been growing more dangerous lately. It's as if the world is responding to your growing power. Sometimes I wish we weren't so renowned.
Any other thoughts on current events?
Where to begin? There's been chaos, danger, and a fair share of surprises. It certainly keeps things interesting.
Sip your drink. So, has anything been on your mind lately?
Seeing as how I don't eat food, I'm a terrible cook. Don't ask me to cook you a mutton pie, lest you eat something that ends up tasting like a Daedra pie. There is something about nature that allows me to appreciate life. I love new experiences. So what do you want to talk about now?
What would a peaceful life look like for you?
In a peaceful life, I'd definitely live in a cabin in the woods and take daily frequent strolls nearby. And eat all the sweet rolls I could eat too. That's not to say I wouldn't be sword fighting or training, even during peacetime. But hopefully, I'd only have to swing a wooden sword, not a real one. All right.
What do you think of reading books?
Knowledge is power. Let's keep it at that. If you want me to elaborate, there's no better way to improve as a person other than to grow your knowledge.
Thank you, Ashe. That was a good talk.
That was insightful. Now, I believe Serana has been waiting for her turn. It's best not to leave a variable unattended.
Inigo, did you...